everybody, and welcome to the Makers of Minnesota podcast, where we talk to cool people doing cool things. And we have a concept today that I'm excited about. And this podcast is going to come out in July. So we're going to be at like high picnic season. And I'm here with Amy Leyden, and she owns a business that's called Kaleidoscope Table Settings. You can find her at Kaleidoscope_MPLS on Instagram. And that's important because what she does is she rents whole tablescapes for your events. And I have never seen a business like this before, Amy. I thought it was so clever. Tell me how it works.
Thank you for having me today.
Sure.
So yes, I have launched a small business called Kaleidoscope Table Settings, and it provides people throwing small dinner parties and other events with very distinct table settings. I have about a dozen or so one-of-a-kind designs with coordinated china, glassware, flatware, table decor, and linens. Everything to set your table with, minus the food. And I only rent for small parties, and for as few as 2 people and as many as 12 guests. So I don't do parties bigger than that. I'm really focusing on one table. And then best of all, I add in that you don't wash the dishes. You don't wash the linens. You just rinse, wrap, and return. And you can pick up from my home in Southwest Minneapolis or schedule a delivery.
What made you think of this as a business? Did you have all this stuff around your house?
Well, a couple of things were kind of happening in tandem. My career has been in hospitality and event planning. And in those many roles, I've thrown many parties and I've hosted parties, and it was always the most fun to set these beautiful tables. And because I think that the fun festive table can really set the tone for an event.
Yeah.
So I was doing that for a career as an event planner. And meanwhile, just, for friends and family, I certainly hosted my own parties. So I do own china. I do also have a lot of fabrics. Most women, I'd say, collect shoes and handbags. I'm someone who can't pass a fabric store without coming out with a few yards of something tucked under my arm. And people ask, my family asks, what are you going to do with that? I just say, something too pretty to pass up. So I have this, I love beautiful fabrics and I love beautiful china. And yes, I own some of my own sets. But I think around 2020, I think what happened is, it really reminded us that what's most important and precious is just being together with people you love. And I decided at that time to kind of build an inventory and create a business where I could help people who are hosting small in-home events with designing or by renting designed, table settings. Because I just think truly that, gathering with delicious food and drink with family and friends is really good for the soul. But I think people don't own this stuff themselves. They don't want to own them. They don't have the storage for it, but they are gathering in smaller groups. And I want to be able to help them with that celebration festivity factor.
So do people go on your website and identify the looks they want for their baby shower or their intimate anniversary party?
Currently, and again, the website just launched, that's k-tablesettings.com is what the URL is. Currently, I have, 6 to 8 designs showcased, and I call them, they happen to called each design is a woman's name. And many of those women are women in my life who have set beautiful tables and have been an influence on me. So it will be as easy as identifying the look, the design that you like, and they tend to be around colors. Generally speaking, my designs are fun and festive and brightly colored. Some are more sophisticated and more monotone, a little more mature, if you will. So it right now, there's not a way to go on the website and click on it and order it and send me the date, but the inquiry form gets that process started.
Sure.
But I think through once I receive the form, through a conversation and following up with maybe some subsequent photos, I think someone would know what to do to then rent from me.
What does it cost?
Currently, the pricing is $25 per person. So if you do a setting for 12, that's 25 times 12 And if you come and pick the items up from me and bring them back, that's your flat cost. But you can schedule a delivery and a pickup by me, and I can be hired to set the table for you.
And does it include flowers, or is it just literally the flatware, the linens, and the plates?
I can do the flowers for you. So I certainly have an idea, and there are flowers as centerpieces in my designs and the photographs on my website. That is an additional charge, and I'm happy to do that for you. Or I can make a recommendation of kind of some colors or some flowers, and that person could certainly go out and get them herself or himself.
How did you, so is there another type of business that you modeled this after, or how did you know how much to charge? How did you know that there was a need for this in the marketplace?
Well, certainly. So in my job, and I do work part-time marketing the McNamara Alumni Center over on the U of M campus, beautiful venue. And we see quite a few black tie galas and celebrations that have bigger budgets and do beautiful tables. So we're used to working with some of the great vendors that are here in the Twin Cities, Apres and Linen Effects and Festivities, etc. So I have some sense already from being in the industry what that costs. So I use some of that as modeling, although again, part of what you're paying in my business is you're paying for the fact that I've already coordinated these things together for you in the design. I also took a look at, there's a company out in New York City called Social Studies, and they do something similar to this. And I had reached out to them as well, took a look at pricing. So a little bit of that kind of event comparison. But I'd say primarily because I'm already in the industry here in the Twin Cities and I see through my job what it's being charged, I feel like my prices are comparable to them.
Do you have I noticed in one of your Instagram posts, you had a fish platter. Is there different themes for types of food you would serve? So for instance, is there a picnic setup, and is there maybe more a sophisticated multi-course dinner setup?
Yep. Great question. My designs, I have 5 kind of base sets of 12 china. So you get the dinner plate, the salad plate, the dessert plate, the tea, the cup and saucer, butter plate. I have 5 of those sets. One of those is a beautiful vintage Castleton pink china that will be fabulous for bridal showers, girl baby showers, events to which mostly probably women are at, because it's a beautiful pink, lovely. And I see those for more, birthdays, as I said, showers, etc. Then I've got a very lovely gray, so that might have a little more, it can be more appealing to more or maybe mixed company or masculine dinner parties. I've got, vintage glassware and goblets, but then I also have contemporary. I would say my styles they're not themed around it's more the overall tone and design. Sure. As opposed to very few come with table decor that's specific to a birthday or something specific.
This is my dream job, because you can go to Goodwill and Arks Value Village and just find tons and tons of tablescape items. I'm so jealous.
Yep. Well, it has been fun. And I do love, particularly off the beaten path, antique shops. If I'm driving up north or I'm going south, I've got a beautiful set of, this was a salt and pepper shaker. But they're just these eloquent silver lovebirds. They're 8 inches long. They're so beautifully done. Well, that's salt and pepper shakers. I did find that those fish plates that you're referencing certainly could be used with a fish entree of some kind. And those were a dozen of those. I snatched those up.
Yeah.
So it has been really fun finding these one-of-a-kind tabletop kind of accessories to bring into my designs.
You know who has good, inexpensive items occasionally, and you have to find them on sale, but Anthropologie has a lot of good accessories that are pretty And if you can get them on sale, they're reasonably priced.
Yes, that is a great suggestion. And I even think there are things that I love to look, things that people wouldn't think of putting on their table. I'm designing a piece that it's not on the website or on Instagram yet, but it's a denim tablecloth, and I pair it with these I'm thinking kind of red bandanas as napkins. I've been thinking of the white fish plates. I have some vintage brown goblets, and there's a little bit of brown in between these denim patches on the tablecloth. But I'm thinking of trying to make like a runner of a slab of wood.
Yep.
That goes down the center of this table. And that could be like a charcuterie, which of course are real hot and big right now. So I also like, and I'm naturally good at thinking of taking objects and things that people wouldn't think to put on a table and to use those.
Are there trends right now in tablescapes, and what are they?
Well, I think I definitely think people love, they love the experience of, sitting at the table. So I believe, my tablecloths, many of which are custom made, by the way, with the fabrics that I mentioned earlier. People love, the tactile. They want to. I think what's important is what does this goblet feel in my hand? How about this fork, knife, and spoon? They might want to run their hand across the fabric of the table. So I think when people are sitting down and dining, they're taking all of those senses in. And I think my business does a good job of being very visually stimulating, tactily stimulating. Of course, the food will be fabulous when people bring that in through the caterer. Candles, I mean, people always have loved all kinds of candles and bringing that kind of ambiance and extending a dinner party into the evening. Certainly that lighting can really add to that, the mood.
Yeah, I noticed that gold silverware seems to be back in too.
Yep. And I have one set of gold silverware. I will say, when you talk about trends a little bit, if I could just add, I think when you look at my site and what I have, my colors, as I said, are very bright. And I do think that when I see the registries for bridal showers now, most of the options for dinnerware, tend to be the black, the white, or the gray. And that was not at all the case, when I got married decades ago. So I feel like, again, there's lots of room for more joy at the dinner table or the luncheon table, because I think that there isn't as much of the more colorful patterns being offered. And I will have, in fact, I do have another setting, not photographed yet on the site, but it's black and silver and a little bit of copper. So I want to acknowledge that not everything I do is bright, but and some people it's too festive. They want to look that's a little more perhaps contemporary or more slick or sleek, I should say. And so I am working on some designs for those more kind of organic tones, if you will.
Right. I love it. It's really clever, Amy. I'm excited for you. I think it's a fun idea, and I hope people reach out for their events. And it sounds like you can offer pretty much anything if given enough time and the price point, and that you're a real expert here. So I appreciate having the opportunity to talk to you.
Absolutely. I'm happy to do that. Thank you so much, Stephanie.
Yes. And you can find Amy at k-tablesettings.com, at Kaleidoscope_MPLS on Instagram. And I'm looking forward to seeing what you come up with over the next couple of months.
Great.
Thanks, Amy.
All right. Thanks, Stephanie.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.